And now, Prison Planet's Alex Jones.
It energizes my soul at its very core to be here with so many like-minded people that see the truth, that have researched the truth, and are defending the very soul of humanity against the parasitic controllers of this world government who are orchestrating terror attacks as a pretext to sell us into even greater slavery. So I want to commend all of you for making the journey, many of you from other countries. I was told 4 continents, here to Chicago, the Windy City. This is really exciting and historical, so God bless you. I don't normally do PowerPoint presentations. You can tell somebody had already gotten it out of order here. But I thought it'd be better to try to, at least for part of this hour-long speech, go through some of the evidence calmly, succinctly, and then, of course, deliver some of the customary fire to the debate, because nothing is more important than our liberty. That's every man, woman, and child of you controlling your own destiny. And government-sponsored terrorism is about one thing, and that's a pretext of control and domination of free humanity. There is 6.5 billion of us, and the Dr. Piancas and the Henry Kissingers and the Peter Singers can openly state that they plan to build a world government to then orderly have a worldwide one-child policy and exterminate us. If they think they're going to get away with declaring war on humanity, they got another thing coming. Humans are the dominant species on this planet because we are aggressive, we are dynamic, we are creative, and the elite is afraid of that human spirit. They are threatened by ingenuity. They are threatened by independence. They are threatened by you controlling your own destiny. They are afraid of the engines of creativity that your minds and souls are. So they try to sell you on the pap and the ball games and the sex and the mindless issues that'll never feed your soul like the truth will. There's nothing better. There's nothing more powerful. There's nothing that feels better in your bones than knowing the truth and being independent and not trusting your government and being involved. And that's why you're here tonight. So let's go ahead and go through just a brief history encapsulated of government-sponsored terrorism. I don't claim to be a historian. I mean, scholarly professors, great minds, will spend their entire lives, our meager short lives, studying just one facet, one slice of one region of the world, and still won't know everything that happened, everything that transpired, the thousands, the millions of lives, everything they did, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the evil, the heroes, the average person. But I have always found that history, when I was a young man, was more entertaining than television. This is real. This really happened. Why should I read a Tom Clancy fiction book when I can read something that's real, a declassified CIA document? Why should I do that? But I've read The Rise and Fall of the Roman Republic. I've read quite a few books, probably not more than 20 or 30, on Rome itself. That's not that many, actually. And I had seen over and over again, it was admitted that the first fire departments, don't get me wrong, I love firefighters today. They do a great job. They're some of the few public servants we've got left in government. They really are wonderful men and women. But Julius Caesar's grandfather and others controlled these firefighting guilds. And what they would do is they would go around and demand protection money from people in Rome, the different minorities in Rome, that, hey, if you don't pay us to be your fire department, when a fire comes that we're going to set, we're not going to come put it out, or we're going to come set one if you don't. And there are earlier examples of government-sponsored terrorism, but I think this example from 2,100 years ago is a good place to start. I mean, you don't think the Italian mafia 120 years ago in New York City or Chicago or Houston for that matter, you don't think they just thought up the idea of pay me protection money or I'm going to burn down your grocery store. No, this is very, very old, and the money that was garnered from this later put the grandson, Julius Caesar, into the dictatorship of Rome, and then we saw the 400-year decline of it until the sacking in 410 by Alaric. Now let's skip forward 2,000 years to a fascist with the Roman salute. Sure, CNN will probably use that out of context. Hitler and the Reichstag. But then I get to sue him, so that's even better. See, it's all been pre-planned. Hitler and the Reichstag fired. Now, this is part of the record. If you really read the histories, you read the Nazi documents, it's there, Heinz Hobel's Order of the Death said, others. It is part of the record that, and it's the same story, it's just like 9/11. They always find somebody with a 70, 75 IQ, maybe he knows the name of their mommy. That's about it. And they grabbed Marinus van der Lubbe, the Reichstag on April 27th, 1933, a few months after Hitler was elected president. He wasn't chancellor, and then he abolished that and became Fuhrer later. He'd only gotten a parliamentary representation of about 38, depending on the region, 40%. So he gets in, he goes in, and Hermann Goering was there, and they firebombed it and doused gasoline all over. It was simultaneous big fire. And they said, this is our excuse to now take over the entire society, set up Reich security, which translates into home security, land security, Reich's land security. And of course, they had little confidants in the U.S. running their banks, Brown Brother and Harriman's, you know it as Prescott Bush. But that's another time, another talk. And they grabbed Marinus van der Lubbe, who wasn't just mentally retarded, he was also mentally ill, rolling around naked. They obviously drugged him in the back of the Reichstag. And then they cut his head off just a few months later after a show trial. And Hitler used the burning of the Reichstag to bring in his police state, to take the regional Bavarian police and turn them into the national police or the black shirts. And government agents should note that then tens of thousands of the brown shirts, like Ernst Röhm and others, were killed in the Night of the Long Knives that came up very soon thereafter. So here is a 20th century example of government-sponsored terrorism for you on the record. Hitler didn't stop there. Gleiwitz, the town of Gleiwitz, little German radio, military, army relay station, and they dressed up a Jewish concentration camp victim. They marched him out, dressed him up in a Polish uniform, blew his head off, and they had newsreels all there, and they said, they attacked our radio station, and they caused all this carnage, and it's absolutely terrible, so we're going to invade Poland. When they teach people in high school or college or on TV, and then this is totally admitted, that, oh, Hitler just invaded Poland. No, he had to convince the Germans that they had been premeditatedly attacked by the 19th century horses and cavalrymen of the Polish army. So they blitzkrieged in, they smashed it.